What's happening, Reset TV? It's gravitating away, and hope y'all having a good day, man. This is just a quick conversation with y'all, man. Those of you that has been giving an effort of tapping in with me, man, I'm so beyond words right now, man. I'm appreciated when it comes to y'all and what y'all do. Y'all could be anywhere else, but you chose to spend some time with me, man. It means a lot. Real quick, man, this sun is blazing, got my pigmentation looking crazy, but just going for a quick walk, and I just wanted to chat with y'all, man. Today's mathematics, man. Just protect that dome, man. What's inside of that dome and beyond the flesh of the brain, man. I know y'all always hear people talking about energy, and sometimes people talk about it ad nauseum, right? They're just saying cliches, and it ain't really hitting like that. We hear it all the time. Low vibration, this and that. But you gotta channel what you're speaking about when you're talking about energy into something constructive and pivotal that somebody can pick up that game. You feel me? If somebody dropping game on that, you got to be able to pick it up. And what I got to say is this, man. I don't care if it was 2023, 2024, 2025, 26, 27. You shouldn't have a resolution to do this when it comes to your mental health, your peace, your growth, when it's something that should be incorporated into your daily routine, right? All the time. It's not a special occasion when it comes to something concerning your very well-being, whether that be mentally, physically, financially. You got to adopt the patterns and behaviors of things that are good for you, man. And I bring that up because I wanted to talk about something that can be relevant whether you're in a relationship, friendship, association. I think it's imperative, man, that y'all become a little bit selfish, man. If you're somebody that is used to uplifting others, someone that, even if you don't understand that you're sacrificing, your works and actions tells the tale that you're sacrificing. Meaning sometimes you don't put yourself first, right? There are times that you try to find resolve and the strength to carry on despite what we go through. I just want to tell y'all a little story, man. Me and my pops, we be at odds with one another. And this is not about him. I'm just using him to go into how powerful trauma can affect all around. My pops lost his brother, right? His younger brother. And I've talked about this on my channel before. His younger brother was murdered down the street from us. And I remember my dad had to identify the body. And my dad got a lot of siblings, right? My grandpa was a Rolling Stone, definitely, but he was there for his children as much as he could be. But my dad's youngest brother was murdered. And he was a ladies' man. Very kind soul, always smiling. You should hear the stories people got to say about him. It gives me pride because I feel like I'm a part of him. And the things that's always bothered me is my dad has always been distant emotionally. But I didn't realize it really bothered me until I got older and I started having children. I got 6 now. But my dad was always distant. And my mom explained it specifically because not solely by the way he was raised, but that event that happened to his brother. And boy, I feel like my dad still ain't happy, and it's been years. And I feel like my pop still ain't happy, y'all. And he allowed it to affect him in a way where him being reserved, I think sometimes he didn't think about our well-being mentally. didn't mean he didn't love us, right? And it takes a lot of special type of person to give their fathers grace, right? Because I refuse to come out publicly or even personally and downplay who my father was. Even if he never spent a significant amount of time in my life, I ain't gonna downplay my dad, because I know the role of a man and how important it is. See, your own father might be some type of stigma in your life, but understand his role as a father is so important, because somebody else fathered, right? Somebody else needs a father figure, to the point where even if you had a bad relationship with your own father, don't go out there down on your pops, bro. It's the easiest thing you could do. The better thing to do is start a journey where you could heal from whatever it is you went through with your pops. We're at a time now where it's so important to bridge these gaps, where we feel hollow inside. And the trauma from my pops losing his brother, he really didn't know, especially those generation of black men, they didn't know how to have an outlet to express their feelings and emotions. So my dad was very stern, very strict, and it made me very hard. I didn't have no sisters. I just had a whole bunch of brothers, you feel me? I had no sister. So I noticed a lot of times when I dealt with a female, she didn't understand the significance of what it took me to be vulnerable with her, right? A lot of these females, they don't understand that type of sacrifice, because nobody taught me how to do that. And this is why I'm going back to energy. When you're dealing with people that uses whatever they're going through, specifically trauma, as a crutch, where there's no fusion of understanding that even though I'm going through my trauma, I can't downplay the next person's trauma or whatever it is they're going through mentally. That stuff is pivotal when you ignore that, bro. Because what happens is there's a shield that you put in place where it makes you numb to someone else's pain, to someone else's burdens and journeys and tribulations that they're going through. And this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Real growth, self-love, higher frequencies require us to be a little selfish. Just a little bit. And it's an oxymoron that I'm telling y'all to be a little selfish while telling you there's people that are selfish with their trauma. But guess what? It's something you can't fight. It's human nature for people to loathe in woe is me attitude, right? They loathe in it. Some people thrive off of a crippling effect of really burying themselves in their trauma, their emotions. And no matter how much sacrifice, effort, you try to motivate and you try to help that individual understand that there's a safe place, there's a opportunity to heal. I'm telling y'all this, especially as a trained, certified psychologist, a recognition therapist, I'm telling y'all, you know what? Forget the degrees, because what does that mean end of the day? Just if you're somebody that's connected to a human being and you observe and you learn and you allow, right? You're humbled enough to allow wisdom to take hold of you. You just realize people are selfish. And in those endeavors of everybody doing their own thing, I say take time out and be a little selfish for yourself. Because what happens if you carry the load and burden of other people's trauma while always pushing yours deep down somewhere, because maybe you're relied on to be the one to pay the bills, to be the one to make the day better, to be the one that despite what you're going through, you got to keep it pushing, you got to keep it moving. Sooner or later, what happens is you crash. You crash. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could tell y'all how many friends and family I've lost to gun violence, and in a weird way, but sad, it was the norm. 16-year-old getting killed over here, 17-year-old getting murdered over there. But nobody could tell me that these black men that I know would pass away in their 20s and 30s from certain natural causes. People that, if they were next to you, you would never consider them to have problems like that. So many issues: diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, so on and so on. And it's happening at such a significant rate. I'm sorry, man. Nigga gotta take a time out and just wonder, am I next? Am I next? Because the burdens that we take on while having our own issues, I'm telling you, that type of weight, you can't carry it, man. It's only natural to understand and give in to the idea that you need someone to help you. You need someone to help you carry on that weight. And if they're not going to help you carry on the weight of the world, the best thing you can do is be your own salvation. I'm not gonna get religious on y'all, because I don't know what y'all believe in, but be your own salvation. Get to study your mind, how it works. Get to study your body. Get to pay attention to the food you eat and how it affects you. Certain individuals and their vibes and energy, how it affects you. And I'm telling you, once you see if it affects you negative, cease being around that person. Cease eating what you're eating. Cease doing what you're doing that's causing you to limit your own life. Sorry, I'm working out. But I'm going to tell y'all this, man. This is me being sincere, man. Sooner or later, it will hit you that taking on people's burdens and energies who don't show you any change, right? When change is supposed to be the only constant, it's almost impossible not to change. Yet some people are stagnant in their journey. I'm not saying leave people behind, but momentarily, you better focus on yourselves, man. There's a crisis happening right now, especially in the black community. We've been raised to just handle it. It's for men in general, but nothing like black men. We've been taught to like carry on all this trauma, still handle your bills, still look good, still be there for others. And you neglect yourselves, black man. You neglect yourselves. You're here to save the day like Captain. Despite what they say, black man ain't shit. Black man ain't fathers. I don't know too many of that. And I'm pretty sure most of you, despite the stereotypes that are floating out there, most of the times pushed by our own black women, still we see mostly in our lives black men that are doing everything. Come back from work, not be honored. The only time you hear somebody speak well of this brother is when he passed at his funeral. That's the only time you hear all these great things, and you're watching all these people say all this stuff about them. Such and such was this, was that. And you're thinking, damn, why wasn't he treated like that when he was alive? Some people go through a silent burden, right? They're in silence. It's so heavy on them and weighing heavy on them that they forget how to smile sometimes. But if you didn't forget how to smile and you still enjoy being in the world, you enjoy being a father or individual, whatever it is your status is, if you like this thing called life, despite what we go through, I'm imploring y'all. I'm imploring you. You got to cease everything that's there to cut short of what you're promising. That's a good life, a great life. Nothing's going to be perfect. Sometimes we get mixed up with the idea of IG and what celebrities push down our throats and our children's throats. That doesn't necessarily mean what success looks like, what happiness looks like. I don't have to tell y'all what happiness is, because you know what it is. You all know what happiness is. But sometimes, I don't know if it's allergic, we push it away. We thrive on some type of weak emotion of, yeah, I just did good for this one. I did good for that one. I just took care of my bills. Yeah, I'm handling my business. But you ain't happy, dog. You ain't happy for real, man. I took a time out to just talk to y'all. Not some cheap conversation about energy. But what can you do with understanding the things and the forces that are around us that's there to help cease our existence, bruh? Cut our life short. It's important, man. I'm telling y'all, there's a crisis going on out there where a lot of black men are dying young. Health related. But what they don't tell you, health related because of XYZ. Things that had nothing to do because you was just smoking and drinking, which a lot of our black men I don't want to gaslight like that. A portion of our black men, yes, partake in those, but many of the reasons has nothing to do with substance issues. It's mostly stress and mentally related, yo. That's how powerful it is. A doctor told me that. Most of the people he's dealt with hypertension issue, heart-related issues, folks that has passed away, he realized a root cause was from things they can't or didn't control. And that was like family issues, drama, bills, not being viewed as somebody that's valuable to the people that they uphold and put them on a pedestal. Them people won't give them that favor in return. And it's like, damn, bro, you got to care about y'all life, man. Some of y'all might think this was a rant, but I swear on everything I love, this was as real as I felt like I just needed to share this, man. I needed to share that because after a while, bro, I don't really get too emotional, man. Like, you start understanding all of this and you want to pull others with you and help lead them to that water. But as the old adage go, I can't help you drink it, man. But yeah, a lot of our brothers are passing away, man. And a lot of the root reasons is for things that we could have handled. We haven't been taught well, y'all. But give our elders grace, right? Give our elders grace. We know what the problems is. It's up to us to fix it. Talking about how our elders let us down ain't gonna fix shit. And that's the worst thing you can do, is throw smut on your elder's name. Because for their time, they wasn't raised to deal with that. That's why grace is important, bruh. Even if my father wasn't in my life, I ain't talking down on black men and black dads. I ain't doing that. We go through a lot. We go through a lot, and I just want us and who we are to be respected out here. Black man, if nobody told you I love you today, my brother, I fucking love you.